You walk through a market in Ghana and you see it. Smoked grass cutters, bats, tortoise shells, sometimes meat of monkeys. It smells familiar, normal, almost comforting. But that piece of meat did not come from a shop. It did not come from a farm. It came from a forest, moved by hand, over long distances, through people you will never meet. Here's the part most people get wrong. Some of this trade is legal, seasonal, licensed, regulated on paper, and some of it is not. But in real life, those two worlds are often tangled together. In this video, we are following the journey of bushmeat in Ghana, from forest to fire. Before we follow the chain, we need to slow down on one word: legal. In Ghana, bushmeat is not automatically illegal. Certain species can be hunted only during the open season, only with the right licenses, only if they are not protected, only if they are sold with veterinary approval. On paper, it's clear. On the ground, it's complicated. There's a closed season every year, from August to December. During that time, hunting is banned to let wildlife recover. Some species are fully protected, always illegal to hunt or sell. No season, no excuse. Selling bushmeat publicly requires permits. Hunting animals with young is banned all year. So yes, legal bushmeat exists. But following every rule at every step is rare. Not because people don't know the rules, but because the system they operate in makes those rules hard to obey. The chain starts in the forest with hunters. Some hunt full-time. This is their main income. Others are farmers who hunt when crops fail or cash runs low. The commercial hunters supply most of the bushmeat that reaches markets. They also take the biggest share of the money, around a third of the total value in the chain. Hunting increases in the dry season. Farms produce less, animals are easier to find. As nearby wildlife declines, hunters move deeper into forests, sometimes across borders, into Burkina Faso, and back again. This is not adventure, it's a response to pressure. The chain begins not with greed, but with survival. Next come the quiet operators, middlemen. They don't hunt, they don't sell openly in markets, they move by motorbike, by truck, by long night journeys. They buy smoked meat in bulk and move it south, from places like Fumbisi to Kumasi to Accra, sometimes more than 500 kilometers. They know which species sell fast, which ones attract attention, and which routes avoid trouble. Without them, the trade collapses. They are arteries of the system. Wholesalers are fewer, but powerful. They buy large volumes. They control prices. They decide what moves and what stays local. Markets like Atrimonum in Kumasi are major hubs. In one study alone, over 8 tons of bushmeat pass through. Small species often stay nearby. High-value species move to cities, where prices are higher and demand is steady. This is where bushmeat stops being a forest product and becomes a commodity. Market traders are the faces people recognize. Many are women. Many inherited the trade. Many are known and trusted in their communities. They sell to households, to restaurants, to chopbars. But their margins are thin. Transport costs, permits, middlemen markups. By the time the meat reaches their store, much of the profit is already gone. Visibility does not mean control. Then comes the chop bar. This is where bushmeat becomes food, cooked, seasoned, shared. Chop bars account for a large share of public bushmeat consumption, especially outside big cities. Here, bushmeat is not a crime or a policy issue. It is taste, memory, identity. But every plate carries a long and visible chain behind. And finally, the consumer. Some come for tradition, some for flavor, some because alternatives are limited. By the time the meat reaches the table, it has traveled far. Across forests, across borders, across laws that blare under pressure. Every bite contains an economy. The bushmeat trade is not a simple story of right and wrong. It is shaped by poverty, by weak enforcement, by food insecurity, by history. People are not breaking rules for fun. They are responding to incentives and constraints. Conservation that ignores this reality rarely works. If you work in policy, this chain matters because bans without alternatives push activity underground. If you are learning, share this truth that legality, culture, and survival often overlap. This is not about blaming individuals. It is about understanding systems. If this way of thinking is useful, like the video and subscribe. It helps more people see the full picture. If you watched episode 1, you already know how scarcity drives these choices. Share your thoughts in the comments, because once you see the whole chain, the question is no longer who is to blame. It's what kind of system are we actually running?